How's it, guys?
Hey, bros.
How's it, Sid? How's it, UV?
I'm all well, guys. Okay, well, as usual, start off with the IPL. I'll look at the table. You all can give me your thoughts, judging from there. Amazingly, Daredevil, Daily Capitals are 3 wins out of 3 with 6 points with a 1.275 run rate. They're looking very good. Your team, Avi, is second on the table. RCB with 2 wins out of 3, 4 points. Decent net run rate at 1.14. GT, one of UV's favorite teams, is third place with 4 points with 0.8. Actually, a lot of teams actually on 4 points. Punjab's KKR, my team, LSG. Oh no, I see the difference. Okay, Punjab are at fourth place, similar to GT, but my team and LSG and Rajasthan Royals, UV's favorite team, they're on 4 points, but that's after 4 games. So it's like a break-even scenario, and then MI is just useless, and so is Chennai, and I won't get to the rest. And Sunrisers are really doing pathetically. So, okay, I'll start with you, UV, because I know your team did well yesterday, Rajasthan Royals. So give me your thoughts on on the table.
I'm liking it. I'm liking the way it's shaping up. I think you heard my voice notes on our group the other day. Chennai and Mumbai going down.
Yes, I
What
did.
more could
Yeah, I
I
put
ask
a
for?
laughing face.
What more could I
Yeah, I
ask
put
for?
a laughing. Yeah, I put a laughing face in the group.
What more could I ask for?
Yes. Yeah. I guess it is good for the tournament because if you have the common players doing well, it kind of becomes boring, and eventually the IPL will die out. If you know what I mean, Avi. So, what's your thoughts on the table?
I think the standings at the moment
Mm-hmm.
is making a lot of experts
Mm-hmm.
uh, who gave their predictions prior to the tournament looking like a bit of fools.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, nobody would have expected DC to be on top of the log.
Yeah.
Nobody fancied DC to actually even make the playoffs. So I don't know. Everybody was talking about Sunrisers, but look at Sunrisers. They
Mm.
they have been underperforming
Yes.
ever since they won that first game. It's
Yeah.
kind of been downhill from there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
CSK, you can see the
Mm-hmm.
cracks. There's
Yeah.
there's there's cracks there. There is
Yeah.
big cracks there in that CSK
Mm-hmm.
franchise at the moment. I think
Mm-hmm.
if you look at the tournament, if you look at the balance of the side, I don't think it's a very good side in the sense that there's no power hitting in that team, and there's a lot of
Mm.
anchors, and they play a very conservative brand of cricket as well, which is not it's not what the IPL is about. It's about teams actually going for it. And MI, well, MI always starts the season off very slow, so
Yeah.
you can't really judge MI at the moment.
Yes.
But honestly speaking, I think it's going to be hard for any of those teams. They got to make a really miraculous comeback to actually get back into the playoff spots. But yeah, I mean, DC for me, guys, have been probably the most interesting one. Uh, they've actually done well in the transfer, the auction, getting
Mm.
some marquee players like the likes of Mitchell Stark and KL Rahul. I mean, they did some good business. So if you look at the teams that have done some good business, they're the ones that are actually, looking good on the table at the moment. But we all know this is the IPL; that can change very quickly. But at the moment, those 4 teams are looking the part. Eh?
Yeah. Okay, I'll get to UV because today's game is interesting. We got Sunrisers playing at home against Gujarat Titans. If you look at the table, you'll say the Gujarat Titans are favorites to win. But consider Sunrisers not playing at home, and if the pitch is as usual flat and they bat first, I think I'm going to go with Sunrisers to win. So call me crazy. I have a feeling they might win today. So what's your thoughts, UV?
No, I think GT can do it. They've found a balance. They've struck a good vibe. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think the best batsman in the tournament still has to fire, and
Mm-hmm.
today could be that day.
Okay, so you with GT, Avi? You concur with UV?
I have to agree with you there because I think Sunrisers are but one dimensional. They're one
Mm.
dimensional team, and I think teams are teams are exposing them at the moment because they are so one dimensional. You know what you're going to get from Sunrisers. They got to go hard in the power play, and they're just going to keep on going hard. And they're falling into traps now. Teams are setting traps for the Sunrisers batsmen. I think they have got to, play according to the situation. I don't think they're playing according to the situation. They're just going one way, bang bang, and if it comes off, it comes off. If it doesn't come off, then so be it. But I think the teams are a lot more smarter, with regards to Sunrise. If you're going to be one-dimensional in this IPL, you're going to get found out. You're going to get found out big time. So I think GT has what it takes to beat Sunrise. I mean, let's be honest. I don't think, with the exception of Delhi, other guys, I don't think home ground advantage counts for anything in this IPL at the moment. It's proven that. So I don't think home ground advantage plays such a big part. So I can see GT winning this one. Honestly, GT are the better side. GT are the better side. They got a better bowling lineup. They should be winning this game.
Okay, so we'll get to tomorrow's game. MI against Avi's team, RCB. They're playing at Wankiri. I know MI walloped my team like anything at home, so I'm gonna be Pago the game, and I'll go with MI to win again. I think MI need the win, so I think I'll go with them beating your team, Avi. Sorry, I'll go with Avi. What's your prediction? I know you're gonna go for your team, but tell me why.
Again, when I talk about MI and RCB are obviously the better side at the moment. If you look at the lineups, RCB does have the better team, so they should be winning this game tomorrow. Having said that, we know MI are going to come hard, and if they get that kind of pitch that they need, it might be a possibility. But I'm not ruling off RCB. I think RCB can get one over MI, and those conditions at Mumbai might just suit RCB style of play. So yeah, I don't know what to make of Mumbai this year. I mean, I actually don't fancy them to make the playoffs, but let's see what happens. Should be an interesting game. It should be a lot closer than today's game. I think GT should win today's game, but tomorrow, yeah, it should be a lot closer. Yeah, kind of a 50-50 game, guys, because MI are strong at home, but then RCB can pack a punch too, and I'm sure they want to bounce back after Wednesday, which was a bit of an off day.
You concur with Avi?
RCB, simple reasoning. MI is undercooked. This season they're totally undercooked. Hardik Pandya, let me put it this way. He's a really great player. Overconfident fool. That's the word that comes to mind when I have to describe it. And what he did in that final over, I think that's what cost him that last match. And so basically, trust Pandya to stuff it up again.
You know, you're funny you say that. I was remembering in the final when you were captaining GT and Mohit Sharma was bowling that final over, right? And Mohit Sharma was actually in the groove against Chennai in the final. And then for some reason, he goes to Mohit Sharma, and then afterwards, Mohit Sharma bowls 2 Kachra balls, and then GT loses it. So, yeah, I know what you're saying. You know what I mean?
Another thing about MI, the form of Rohit, I think it's been dismal at the moment in the IPL, and he's the guy. Rohit is the enforcer of the order, that gets MI to these amazing starts. But when last year he had a good season in MI colors, I mean that is the reason why MI have been underachieving, in the last couple of years, and also. UV spoke about it last week as well, and I agreed with him. Tim David down the order. I mean, that's the guy can take a score of 180 to 220, and that's the kind of score that's a winning score. And to let go of Tim David, I think was a bit of a mess up there from their part. But Emma have messed up in the last couple of years with in the auction, so not surprising. The only reason why I might give MI turning. But we don't know how Bumrah is going to play because that's his opening game. That's the first game that he's going to play in the IPL. So he could be a bit undercooked. So I still think RCB they kind of have what it takes, man, and they've got a better kind of team structure at the moment compared to Mumbai. So I think RCB should be
They
winning that
should.
game tomorrow, even though it's away from
But
home.
Okay.
Mumbai have only,
Yeah,
for me, Mumbai have only one thing in their favor. I think
Uh-huh.
they've got the two best swing bowlers in the tournament in their team. So
Okay.
that's something they do have in their favor. Other than that, no.
Okay. All right. So it's simple. It's two for RCB and one for MI, and that's me being alone. So that's cool. So we'll go for Tuesday. My team against LSG at Eden Gardens. Whew, let me look at the table here, the famous table here. Okay, LSG is number. Okay, my team's up the ladder against LSG. But LSG is number 6. Okay, let's get back to it again. Okay, KKR's playing at home. Whew, this is the toughie. I'm going to be patriotic and go with KKR, although I know LSG can also win it. So I'll start with you, UV. What's your thoughts on that one?
Very close match. Very close fought
Hmm.
match.
Yeah,
I think
I
LSG
agree.
wins it by the skin of
Okay.
their teeth. I think they win it. I just think LSG has found their groove, and Sunil Narayan's been off for season. So I'm giving the slight edge to LSG. Yeah.
Avi?
yeah, this is a close one, eh? This is really a close one. Two inconsistent sides, let's be honest. Two inconsistent teams,
Yeah,
LSG
Agreed.
and KKR.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm looking at captaincy wise
Mm-hmm.
here. I think if there's any team that can slip up, it's LSG because of their
Hmm.
captain. The captain can make a lot of errors in Rishabh Pant.
Yeah, I
So
agree
True.
with
I'll give KKR the edge here. I'll give KKR the edge here. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so 2 for KKR and 1 for LSG. Cool. Okay, we'll go to. Okay, looks like it's a double header on Tuesday. That's a rarity. Okay, and then we got Punjab against CSK. Man, Punjab, they've been really good this season, if I'm correct. Let me look at the table again. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, Punjab, the number 4. Yeah, impressive. Okay, I'm going with Punjab to beat Chennai because I think Punjab are playing beautifully, and I think Shreyas Iyer captains the team, who you captain KKR. So imagine if Punjab win the season, KKR will be, excuse my language, shitting themselves. So that's how it goes. And I'll start with you, Avi. What's your thoughts on that?
If there was ever a time to play CSK, it's now. It's now. Uh, Punjab, Punjab have hit the jackpot here. I mean, this is a perfect time to play CSK. I mean, this is a side.
I agree.
I think
I
an
agree.
aging team. I think an aging team, a side that's they don't really
Daddy's
have
Army.
a
Yeah.
template. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean that's something that could be the problem in its on its own
Yeah.
about being daddy's army and so and so. But it's a very aging squad for me, and yeah, I would go with the Punjabs for this game here. Although uh, you know they are a team that can blow hot and cold,
Yeah.
but I'd go with them for this game here.
Okay. Yuvi.
Punjab. It's not so much what Punjab are doing right. It's more what CSK are doing wrong.
It's
And
probably the
Okay.
easiest fixture to, yeah.
mm, and look, I'm not his biggest fan, but Arshdeep Singh, when it comes to T20 bowling, is a brilliant operator. And so, yeah, Punjab.
Okay. So 3 out of 3 for Punjab. Cool.
Yeah, it's
But
it's
then,
it's probably the easiest fixture to predict this week. It's
I
probably the
think.
easiest one.
okay, but then, UV, what is your thoughts being Australia's Air's captain? Because so far he's done a good job. I think he's gotten them to so far fourth on the table, 2 points out of, I mean, four in 2 games, 1 out of 3. So what's your thoughts on Trace Ayres so far, UV?
I'd like to go back to what Avish said in his previous
Okay,
comment.
okay,
LSG can make a whole lot of mistakes because their captain makes
uh-huh,
silly errors.
mm-hmm,
And when a player is off form, his captaincy
mm-hmm,
suffers. Shreyas Iyer
uh-huh,
is probably the informed player of the season right now. So yeah, he's doing all the right things. He's making the right calls. He's
mm-hmm.
getting it going.
Avi, you concur with that?
Yeah, I think in terms of form is so important for a captain. And if you
Yeah,
look at Rishabh Pant, he's not leading from the front with the bat at the moment. He's
yeah,
had a very poor tournament. Shreyas and obviously I'd have to mention Patida as well. I think they've been the two captains that have led from the front. especially with the bat as well. So there is a few RCB players that need to fire as well, but I think Patida has had pretty good tournament so far with Shreyas Iyer. So they've been two of the best captains so far in the tournament for me.
100%.
All right. So we'll get to Wednesday. And this is UV's two favorite teams going against one another. Gujarat Titans playing at home against the Rajasthan Royals. And let's look at the famous table here. Let's see. Okay, GT is number 3 and Rajasthan Royals, I think, on number 7. Yeah, I was right. Okay, so, okay. I know I'm going to sound really controversial, but I'm going to go with... No, I think this is a tricky one because Rajasthan Royals need wins, eh? But then GT playing at home. I'll go with GT and regret it because I have a feeling your team Ruby might win it. But I'll go with GT. So I'll start with you, Yuvi. Your thoughts?
I'm also thinking GT. I just look at RR this season. They haven't looked great. I mean, they've not been as terrible as Mumbai and CSK, but they've not been great. And GT are finding a good groove, and classic Rajasthan Royals underperforming. And yeah, it is what it is.
Oh, sorry, Yuvi. I made a mistake. Rajasthan Royals actually at number 7. Did I just say they actually at number 8? No, actually they're number 7 against G2 number 3. And I know Rajasthan Royals played very well in their last game. John Fraser was awesome. So maybe that's why I was feeling a bit hesitant giving that prediction. I'll go with GT, but I wouldn't be surprised if Rajasthan Royals do win it, actually. Avi, did you give your prediction?
Yeah, no, this is a pretty easy one for me.
Okay.
GT at home. I mean,
Okay.
GT have a better bowling attack, guys, and I think they've got variety. They've got pace in Siraj. Um, they've got the turn spin of Sai Kishore was so superb against RCB as well. Um, uh, I think with Rajasthan they rely on a few players. If Archer has an off day, I think it's I think they could struggle, and I think on that kind of wicket in where they're playing in Ahmedabad, I think that kind of wicket would suit GT's style of play, and yeah, it's an easy one for me, man. I think GT at home should be too strong for Rajasthan.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So next one is on Thursday, and that's Royal Challengers, Avish's team against Delhi Capitals and Bengaluru. And although this should be RCB's to win because they've been in good form, but they did lose at home was it against my team or some other team, Avi? If you can recall from the top of your head.
It was it was GT.
Okay. Yeah, I was very disappointed. I was very surprised of how they played, considering I wasn't in form. So I'm gonna be controversial, Avi, and don't hate me. I'm going with Delhi Capitals to win because they're playing really awesome. So I'll start with you, Avi, and you can tell me why I'm speaking crap.
I don't think RCB are going to make the same mistake twice. I mean,
Pardon?
it was obvious what went wrong in the opening.
Okay.
And I think it's a chasing ground. And if they get an opportunity to win the toss, and they would obviously enforce DC in. So yeah, I kind of disagree. I think RCB have had a good record against DC at home. So I expect them to bounce back in this game, yeah. Especially if the MI game doesn't go well. I expect them to come back into this game, yeah, and beat DC. Although DC have been, quite kind of, they've been the form team of the tournament. But I mean, the teams that they've played so far haven't really been teams that you would fancy to, make the playoffs. The likes of CSK at the moment. CSK in absolute disarray. So you really can't read too much into that game. LSG and who else did they beat?
Oh, which team you referring to? Okay,
Sunrisers. Oh, they beat Sunrisers as well.
Yeah.
So Sunrisers might have an opportunity, but the way they're playing at the moment, I'm not too sure about that. I think RCB a lot more organized team than those teams at the moment in this year's edition. So yeah, RCB to beat DC at home. And
Okay.
yeah, obviously, the crowd there at Bangalore. They're gonna be optimistic, and
Of course.
they want RCB to win this game. So
Yeah.
yeah, RCB at home against DC.
Okay. That's
RCB at
one thing
home
you
against
gotta.
DC for
Sorry.
sure.
Okay, and UV.
I'm also going RCB.
Oh.
DC, they're playing well, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they can pull this tournament off though. I'm still thinking it's going to be RCB or GT. At home, RCB definitely favorites for me.
Okay, so that makes me the Lone Ranger then. Okay. But anyone can win that game. It's going to be a close one, and that's good. You like those spicy matches. And one thing, Avi, I will admit, RCB fans are very loyal, considering RCB are yet to catch the title. So I appreciate your fans. That's one thing I admire about RCB. They're fans, very loyal fans.
Yeah, I mean they're one of the most passionate fan bases in the IPL, along with you probably MI and CSK. Probably three of the biggest fan bases. KKR as well to an extent.
Okay, so we'll start with you. I think, UV. Okay, I'll give my prediction last in this one because this is going to be a tricky match. This will be on Friday. Chennai against KKR. So, what's your prediction on that one? It's going to be in Chennai, by the way. What's your thoughts on that one, UV?
Anybody playing Chennai or Mumbai in the series should be beating them. So KKR should win the series.
Okay.
I don't think it's been KKR's best season so far, but there's no denying the talent that's in that side. They are going with a second string bowling attack, so that's a bit of a downer.
Yeah.
But by the same token, they've done well considering
Yeah.
the constraints they've had to deal with. They've done pretty well. To me, KKR, the batting lineup's good. I like it. If they get a decent total on the board, I really can't see them losing. Yeah.
Abhi?
No, I totally agree. I think KKR are finding their feet at the moment. And let's be honest, guys. I mean, if you can score 180 plus against this CSK lineup, you're going to win the game because they don't know how to chase. They don't know how to chase. They're a side that can chase between 150 to 160. But anything over that, which I think the KKR betting lineup can do, if they can get 180, 190, I think it's game over for CSK. And yeah, CSK, they need a complete overhaul of this team, guys. I think we need to see a different kind of CSK next season because, as I said, this is an aging team. It's probably coming to the end of an era for them as well. So there's going to be a lot of changes next year. So yeah, this is the best time to be playing CSK. So I'll go KKR there. I just think KKR have much more match winners, although they don't have a very good record in Chennai. But this is the year to change it.
I agree. Yeah, it's funny because
Down with
Chennai
the
at home.
pensioners.
Oh, sorry. What you said, UV?
I said down with the pensioners.
Down with the
That's
pensioners.
Down with
Down with the
army.
pensioners.
Yeah, down with Dad's army. It needs to be called Young Army. We need a Young Army now. Okay, I never gave my prediction. The reason why I didn't give my prediction is because it's tricky in the sense that if Chennai can finally get the right pitch, and I know we shouldn't really talk about pitches because I know pitches have been such a hot topic this year with IPL, which is kind of bakwas, speaking Hindi now. But my point is that if Chennai get the right pitch, they could surprise my team. But unless Chennai get everything right, I'll also go with KKR. But it'll be interesting. It'll be a little bit tricky because if Chennai finally wake up, that'll be fun to watch. Not really. I don't like my team to lose.
Yeah,
So
but
I'll keep
Sid,
to KKR.
my issue, Sid, the problem with CSK, they haven't really fired with the bat, and that's the
True.
biggest issue with them. They haven't fired with the bat this year.
Mm-hmm.
They've got so many players that really are kind of out of form.
Yeah.
They play a very conservative brand of cricket, and that's the one thing. They haven't really got the pitches that they wanted.
Yeah.
So this is the best year to be playing them.
Of course. So sorry.
There's one consideration when it comes to CSK. Their only real weapon this year has been Nur Ahmed. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Nur Ahmed,
I
correct.
agree.
That's been the only real weapon this year.
So I got a question for you guys.
Sure.
I mean, what's your take of Dhoni? being in this team. I mean,
He
if you
should have
take him out the
retired
spot
3
in this
seasons
team,
ago, man. He should have retired 3 seasons ago.
it's a big debate at the moment.
Yeah.
It's quite a fascinating debate.
Hmm.
I think as a wicket keeper, he still has the skills as a wicket keeper.
Hmm.
But I want to know something. If you want to play Dhoni in the
Hmm.
side, you cannot be
Hmm.
playing him at number 9 because I think
No.
he's a lot better than that. He's a
Yeah.
lot better. So if you're going to play Dhoni at 9, you might as well not play him at all. Because
Mm.
what kind of impact are you going to get at number 9 with
Hmm.
Dhoni? But honestly speaking, guys, I just feel that too many of their players are on the wrong side of age. They're in their late
Mm.
30s. I mean, look at Jadu. If you look at the likes of
Ashwin.
Ashwin and obviously MS, he's on the wrong side of 40. So I mean, this is a team, and Ravindra. I'll be honest with you guys. Ravindra doesn't come across as a T20 player for me. I think he's a fantastic ODI player. ODI and Test player is fantastic, but he doesn't come across to me as a good ODI T20 player. So I would think they need somebody explosive up the order because I mean you essentially got like three anchors in that side. I mean you got the likes of Gaikwad, Tripathi, and Ravindra. They play the same style of cricket, in terms of their batting. So they need something to change. They need something more exciting up the order for them to become a
They
force.
brought in Conway, didn't they? They brought in Conway recently.
Yeah, but don't you think Conway gives the same kind of thing, Yuvi, in sense of
I think he's a
you
bit
need
more
someone
aggressive than
explosive?
Rachin. I think he's a bit more aggressive than Rachin, don't
Definitely,
you?
I agree.
Mm.
I agree, but I feel the teams have gotten better. A lot of teams have gotten better
Yeah. No
in the
doubt.
IPL this year, and that is exposing a team like CSK. What do you think?
True. No, agreed.
Yeah,
Um.
Agreed.
Okay.
the
I'll give
quality
my.
has gotten better.
Oh,
The
okay.
Hmm?
quality.
But
True.
okay, we'll. The problem is, I know this is gonna sound really controversial, but I think the reason why Dhoni is still in the team is because I think they're worried about their fan base. Because imagine most of their fan base loves Dhoni. So if you take Dhoni out of that team, they're probably worried about the ticket sales, to be honest, guys. So, and I think they should have retired Dhoni the moment they won that last IPL, which was against GT, if I'm correct. Because I think that's when they lost one of the IPL, if I'm correct. UV, is
True.
that correct?
Yeah.
So
No,
I think Chennai should have retired Dhoni at that stage, and that was the perfect retirement for Dhoni when they had won that IPL. I don't know if you agree with that, UV.
I do. I do. There's a lot of players in this IPL that are past their sell-by date. And I know they might still have the skill set, yes,
Mm-hmm.
but it's time to make way for younger players who are almost as capable as them because
Hmm.
that's how you build the superstars of the future, not by holding on to positions. I'm sorry,
Hmm.
doesn't work.
But Ruby, I've actually have an idea. If they why don't they keep the older players as more like mentorship so that they can that way you can still bring the youngsters in and they can be like part of the coaching panel or assistants. That way you don't like in a way throwing them out, but they're still part of the support group. If that makes sense to you.
That could work. I would look at that, yes. But they
I mean,
shouldn't be playing. That's my point. They shouldn't
okay,
be playing.
okay. Oh, of course, of course. That's what I'm saying too. Okay. I mean, you concur with that?
I'll tell you something. If Dhoni was an outfield player,
Mm-hmm.
he would have retired by now.
Of
He would have
course,
retired by now. As an outfield player, Dhoni would have retired by now. The one
of
thing that's
course.
keeping Dhoni in the side is his wicket keeping,
Yeah.
you know. But I think CSK,
Mm-hmm.
this one-dimensional way of thinking,
Mm-hmm.
is the problem here.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about ticket sales. To hell with ticket sales. You need to win
I
the
agree.
tournament.
Agreed.
So you got to get a side that needs that can go on and win the tournament.
Mhm.
So it doesn't matter who you take out. You got to get a side. If you keep on winning
Mm-hmm.
games, whether Dhoni is there or not
Mm-hmm.
there, you're going to get fans. You're going to get fans because the fans will always back a winning team.
Agreed.
I don't feel that one player should have such. I mean, we all know what Dhoni has done
Of
for
course.
CSK, but I don't feel one player needs to have such an influence on the team and the team selection that it hinders the results. And I feel that's what's happening at CSK. you've got this kind of worship mentality at CSK, guys. Don't you
Yeah.
think you've got this worship
I think
mentality
it's the
that
same.
you end up worshiping players, and this is the kind of results you get.
I think it's the same for a lot of teams.
Mm.
RCB have obviously recently made the change with a lot of youngsters coming in, but for a long time
Yeah.
they were carrying people
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
And MI are still carrying people. So
Mm.
honestly, a lot of the teams in India do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, totally agree with you because I mean Rohit Sharma as well uh, is obviously a question mark.
Thanks, Ravi.
But I'll be honest
Mm-hmm.
with you guys, if there's any team that has the
Mm-hmm.
balls to drop a marquee player, MI do have the balls to drop a player like Rohit
Mhm.
Sharma for sure.
Thank you.
They can do it. They can do it because for them it's all about
Of
results.
course.
And RCB will come to that stage as well where they'll have to look at Kohli as well as a T20 player.
Mm-hmm.
If it comes to a point where he's form dips, and the most important thing is the team and getting the results
100%.
to get into the playoffs and give you an opportunity to win the trophy. So they also gonna have the situation where uh, CSK is having this issue with Dhoni at the moment that they need to make the decisions that are right for the franchise and not for the fans.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
But
Yeah,
to end of the Chennai debate, I would say that Chennai have complicated this year. They should have kept Gaikwad opening, and they should have maybe put Richard either Conway at number 3 or what's the other batsman? Ravindra Jadeja at number 3. I think they've overcomplicated it. I think
You
you
mean
mentioned it
Russian
on one of
Ravindra?
the yeah, of course. I think they overcomplicated it, as you said, Yuvi. I think a couple of weeks ago by Chennai complicating the opening lineup. I think.
Yeah. And I'd like to come
yeah,
back to what Avi said. It is similar. The technique is similar. The approach is similar between Conway and Ravindra. Conway is a bit more aggressive. Ravindra is more of a
Mm-hmm.
long-term player, long-game player. But they approach the game very similarly. So
Mm,
having those two open the batting, that doesn't make sense to me. One,
I agree.
Rachin Ravindra should be coming in at first drop.
Yeah,
Conway gets out, you send Ravindra in. That's what
yeah,
I believe.
I agree with that. Okay.
guys, I want to bring something
Uh-huh.
up here. I want to bring
Sure.
something up here. I saw a
Mm-hmm.
guy in the New Zealand and Pakistan T20 series that's sitting in New Zealand at the
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
moment that doesn't have an
Mm-hmm.
IPL team that nobody has
Mm-hmm.
overlooked him. Tim Seifert.
Yeah.
Tim Seifert would have been the perfect guy for a team like
Mm.
CSK.
Agree.
I mean, he's explosive,
Agreed.
guys. This is a guy that can hit
Mhm.
sixes. He hits more sixes than fours. Tim Seifert would have been the perfect guy for CSK up the order. I mean, you can have one anchor
Mhm.
and you can have one guy that goes off the bowling end. And I'll tell you something right now, guys. And my brother as well, he noticed
Mm-hmm.
this. Uh, Tim Seifert reminds me a lot of Brendan McCullum. He's got the same kind of flair
Mhm.
Oh.
that Bears had
Mm-hmm.
up the order. He goes for it. Yeah,
But there's
he reminds me a lot of Brendan McCullum.
but there's another option as well.
So I am actually surprised that. I'm actually surprised that Tim Seifert wasn't picked up by any of these franchises.
Another
I mean,
option.
look at Glenn Phillips. Glenn Phillips can't get into the GT team as well. So yeah, it's a bit puzzling for me, eh?
An option I would have considered, like you said, Tim Seifert. But what about
Mm-hmm.
homegrown? Deval Brevis.
Oh yes, our very favorite Devil Brevis. Yeah, I don't know.
Possibly,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think IPL teams probably.
They haven't thought out of the box. That's the problem.
I think IPL team. I think the IPL owners were sleeping this year when it came to Devil Brevis. So I think we've exhausted Devil Brevis. We've all been crying out for him. But you never know. Maybe they might surprise us and bring him in somehow. But I think we forgot the last two games here. Upcoming Saturday, this is LSG and GT. This is another tricky game. But I'm gonna go with GT because I just like GT. What do you think, Yuvi?
Very close match. Very, very close match. Also going to go with GT, but I'm going to be honest. As you know, I'd like to be transparent. I'm going with GT because that's my team. It could go either way. It could go either way.
Avi?
Yeah, I agree. Could go either way. I think GT is a lot more smarter. They play a lot. They're a team that play very smart cricket, I feel. And I think LSG Look, by no means am I writing them off. But yeah, this one could be closer than we expect.
Of course.
So LSG at home. To be fair, I haven't really worried about home ground advantage this year. It hasn't really played much of a part. Yeah, GT for sure. I think GT play a lot smarter brand of cricket than LSG.
Okay, we'll get to the last IPL match we'll go to, which is Sunrisers at home against Punjabs and Komi Pagos. I'm going with Sunrisers to win because they need to get matches under their belt to win, and that too they're at home, so I'm sure they'll be okay. Avi, we'll start with you on that one.
Yeah, if Sunrisers don't win this match, then they can kiss their playoff spot goodbye. So yeah, this could be the perfect game for them to get back into form. So let's see how it goes. Punjab did get exposed last night, so there is a possibility. So if they can get a good total, they can beat Punjab.
So you going with Sunrisers then, Avi?
Yeah, I'll go with Sunrisers.
Okay, Yuvi?
No. Bye, Pat Cummins.
Okay, so on that very polite note, it's 2 for SRH and 1 for the Punjabs.
I'm never polite, you know this.
I know. Okay, all right. I'm gonna get straight to the Pakistan New Zealand series. Avi changed his prediction to 3-0, which was absolutely correct. I think UV at the beginning of the season 2-1 to New Zealand. Although in hindsight, I would have also gone to New Zealand after our delightful Pakistan performance. Well, they were absolutely pathetic. They were rubbish. They wasted my time. I don't know why I. They lost so bad 3-0. What's the name of that going to a funeral? Even a funeral would have been better watching Pakistan play the 50 overs. What are your thoughts, Yuvi?
I agree. Pakistan, loads of talent, but woeful in the way they implement.
I agree.
Not surprised that they've caught a bit of a hiding there. I was hoping for at least some sort of resistance, but obviously it never came. And this what it is.
Okay, Avi, do you concur with both me and Yuvi's frustrations?
Pakistan lost to New Zealand's second team.
Yeah.
They got whitewashed essentially by New Zealand's second team.
I agree.
Does it get any worse than this? They got whitewashed by New Zealand's second string lineup. Okay, albeit a few players, but if I look at the bowling lineup was very inexperienced. And a guy by the name of Ben Sears, he took 2 5-wicket hauls in a row.
Yeah,
I mean, amazing. I mean, Pakistan made Ben Sears look like Glenn McGrath on those kind of wickets. But guys, I mean, this has been one of the most one-sided tours ever I've seen. Pakistan could have easily lost that T20 series 5-0 as well if it wasn't for that 100%. Game in Auckland, which was such a such a road, and obviously the short boundaries as well. But I mean, in the ODI series, this is where they got exposed, man.
One way.
It's sad, guys. It's sad in a way that this is the state of Pakistan cricket. This is how far they've fallen behind. And I just want to say something. 2027 is like almost like 2.5 years away, almost 3 years away from the 50 over World Cup. It is going to take a miracle for Pakistan to get a side in that time to be able to compete in that World Cup and get to a semi-final. I think if Pakistan can get to a semi-final in the 50 over World Cup in South Africa, it is going to be some amazing achievement with what is happening at the moment in Pakistan cricket. They need to squash that entire setup and restart. Guys like Mohammad Rizwan, Babar Azam, goodbye. It's time to move forward.
Agreed.
Okay. Oh yeah, no. Bracewell was the player of the match, and he got 59 runs, 1 for 39. Okay, I think we all covered that. But Avi,
I want to know something. I mean, if you wanna play a guy like Babar Azam, And I think if you take Babar Azam out of this team, they look a lot more mediocre than they already are. So I think the best time to play Babar Azam is after order. Let him open the
Okay.
innings because if the other guy that came back into the side in the Champions Trophy, Imam Allah, he should have just stayed away from the side. Because I don't think I don't think they need him in the side. He offers nothing with the bat, and he has been underperforming for a long time. So number 1 to number 4 needs to get right. The bowling, I mean, look, there is something to work there, what to work with there. But I just want to say their death bowling is absolutely woeful, guys. Their death bowling is absolutely woeful. That is where they can go for runs, plenty. And I saw it. I saw it in the series. I mean, even in the second game, which I thought they would actually win, because they had New Zealand 5 down for not very many, and they threw it away. They threw that winning advantage away, guys. From 130 for 5, they let New Zealand get to like 290, which is substantial.
Yeah.
So they get their batting lineup right, and they get bowling.
Sure.
They don't have a good enough spinner at the moment. They need to find that as well. So there's so many things that they need to put into place if they're going to be competitive. And guys, I just want to say, be competitive with the next World Cup. So they've got a lot of thinking to do. I don't know where Pakistan people goes from here.
Agreed.
Okay. Avi, you mentioned something quite interesting about about the next World Cup with Pakistan. The funny thing with Pakistan, when people write them off, they play really well. So if Pakistan hypothetically make a semi-final, I would be surprised if they manage to make a final, depending on which team they play. If they play Australia in the semi-final, though, they will definitely lose because they have a Australia phobia. But other than Australia, I won't be surprised if they do make a final, and anything can happen with Pakistan in a final. So I think the best way is to not have Pakistan make a semi-final and just keep them down there, if you know what I mean.
When last has Pakistan actually performed in the 50 over World Cup? Let's be honest here. When last have they performed in the 50 over World Cup?
I know
the last time was in 20. The last time was in 2011. Sir. I just want to say something. I mean, the teams that have improved in World Cups compared to Pakistan. I mean, look at Afghanistan. Afghanistan look a much better side than Pakistan, guys. In fact, they look a much better side than Pakistan and Sri Lanka combined. They're the second best team in Asia for me at the moment, guys.
Guys,
I mean, yeah.
I've just got a message. I need to run. I must excuse myself. I apologize. You guys have an awesome one. Ciao.
Sure, man.
Okay. Cheers, man. I think we pretty much covered what we needed to cover. Yeah, I mean, sir, I think it will be miraculous for Pakistan to even get to a semi-final in the next World Cup. And of course, being in South Africa as well with the pitches, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
But remember, Pakistan played quite well in South Africa. That's why I'm saying we shouldn't write them off. When you're out of Pakistan, they're surprised. But I know what you're saying. But okay, I think that's... unless you have any final words you want to do wrap off, or are you happy to end it here?
No, I'm happy to end it here.
Okay, enjoy the cricket and to Sunrisers winning today.